What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video guys, me ranking all the LRs based on which ones you need to be making first in the LR priority ranking. So we have 10 LRs in the game, guys, that use the LR currency in the game. Now I'm not going to be ranking LR Rimuru or LR Milim, as both of those characters are collab LRs and they use different materials. So for those characters, the priority for them is going to be probably below, I guess, all these other LRs, since they're going to be easily doable in the slime collab update. But I wanted to talk about specifically the ones that actually do need the materials, guys, and so we're gonna rank all these characters based on the best to worst and which ones you should be making, especially with the brand new LR Diane now that we've gotten the information about. And so I'm gonna actually rank all the characters here and give you guys my opinions on each of them. If you guys enjoy videos like this, man, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we're on the road to that 50,000 subscribers. And if you guys haven't hit that sub button already, man, and turned on post notifications, definitely make sure to so you don't miss out on future videos like this. Now with that out of the way, guys, let's hop in and let's start. And we have it obviously based on the date of release. So I think I might have got Gloxinia and Zeldris kind of confused here though. But yeah, pretty much everything is in data release, guys. So yeah, let's hop in and let's talk about it. So the first character we got here is going to be LR Lostvayne. Now LR Lostvayne, when I think about it, I'm probably gonna put the character LR Lostvayne. It's tough, man. We now have 10 LRs, so it's obviously going to be a lot tougher for me to kind of rank these characters, man. And I gotta like think about which other ones I'm going to place either lower or higher based on that. So for now, I'm going to put Lostvayne at number 8. Now, the reason why I say Lostvayne is number 8 is because I think this character is still viable in the game. You can definitely use LR Lostvayne Meliodas and pretty much a lot of content in the game. Demonic Beast is still really good. You can use him in Demons as well. On OG Demon, he's the fastest OG Demon DPS. He's pretty good across the board in general. He has some viability in DK because he gets attack related stats buff, right, whenever he does get crit on. So there is some viability with this character, guys. I'm gonna leave him at number 8 for now, and I might change it a little bit later in this list for this video. But I think number 8 seems like a good spot to put him in for right now, and we'll see exactly what happens when we continue on with the other characters here. Moving on now to LR Escanor here, guys. Now, LR Escanor, I'm gonna give probably a... okay, this is like, when you actually think about it, right? We have a bunch of LRs here that not a lot of them are actually that good, really, but I am gonna put LR Escanor specifically probably in the number 4 slot right now. And again, this is all subject to change here, guys. Once I start placing more characters, I'll get more of a grasp of where I feel like I want the character to be. But LR Escanor is still a great character. A lot of Demonic Beast content, he kind of steamrolls as well. I think in terms of the comparison between Escanor and Meliodas, is that Escanor, even though we have obviously the new UR Escanor that does kind of beat out this LR Escanor still has that niche where you can use him on a human team for double single target. And there are a lot of double single target type teams. You run like Roxy, you run him, and yeah, you're just going to be dealing a ton of extra damage past the damage cap, which in Demonic Beast content, especially for speed running, is very, very important. So LR Escanor I actually will rate at the number 4 right now, and this could change depending on some of these characters here on the list. I actually have to think about it, a little bit, man. That's the thing, like, it's a little bit tough this time around, guys. So yeah, man, that's where I'm gonna have him right now, but we'll see. Maybe it's a little bit subject to change. Moving on now, guys, to LR Elizabeth. Now LR Elizabeth is still the best LR in the entire game, in my opinion, and honestly this one is possibly subject to change because of this Diane, because I do think LR Diane is actually gonna be up there in that ranks, like either 1 or 2, and we'll kind of talk about it when we do get to Diane. But LR Liz, guys, you guys know exactly what she does. She buff strips on her AoE. She has gauge fill on all of her skills. She has a ultimate that fills your HP of your allies and gives them attack related stats. She gives basic stats to your team as well. She has a backline support of Holy Relic as well. I mean, this character is doing pretty much everything you want from a character in Grand Cross. I mean, PvE content she completely destroys, and as a LR in PvP, she's a very, very good backline because she has very good CC while providing HP related, which a lot of teams in PvP do benefit from having that HP related, man. So yeah, LR Liz, I mean, that's a guaranteed number 1 right there. It's crazy how the first 3 LRs you can see is Lostvayne as the worst, even though back in the day he was absolutely absurd. Then we got Escanor, and now LR Liz right there, guys. So all right, yeah, we'll move on now to LR Margaret. Alright guys, now moving on to LR Margaret here. I think LR Margaret is going to be in around the number 5 spot, give or take. Maybe even a little bit higher than Escanor right there. And the reason why I say this is because LR Margaret is still a staple character in a lot of content in the game in terms of PvE related content. Like obviously she's not going to be too great in PvP. And I don't think most of these characters are good in PvP either, guys. Like LR Escanor to this day is not the greatest. You know, Margaret's not good. Like Lostvayne's not good. Not a lot of these characters are really PvP viable, but they're definitely more PvE oriented. And LR Ludo right here, or LR Margaret, is very good on a full goddess team. And yeah, I mean, she's able to provide a bunch of basic stats. She gives your team crit chance, crit damage. You know, she is really good CC as well. And at 6 out of 6, she's a very strong link. Because she does have the grace effect, which she can bestow as a link. So yeah, I mean, LR Ludo, I think, is going to be around the number 5, maybe number 6. You know, I'm definitely hesitant here, guys. We got to see exactly what these other LRs are saying first. But yeah, I think for now, I'm going to leave it at that spot. And then, you know, maybe we'll change it around a little bit, you know, once I see some other characters here that we start placing on the list here. But yeah, no, right now I'm going to have Margaret at number 5. Moving on to LR Gloxinia here, guys. LR Gloxinia is actually, in my opinion, going to be number 4, and this is the first one where we've had to move a character into a spot, but I'm gonna give LR Glox the number 4 slot because he is meta on the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast battle right now. You actually do run this character on that fight, guys, because he's providing a bunch of defense related stats. He has a bleed card as well, which is obviously very good for that. And yeah, I mean, really good unit in that sense. Now on the PvP side of the game, he's not really doing too much on that side, even though you would think he kind of has more of like a PvP oriented kit based on his relic, and then, you know, also kind of working with fairies as well. But yeah, no, I think LR Glox, in my opinion, is going to be a really good, like, chaos battle character, but not necessarily a normal PvP unit at all. Like, in normal PvP, you probably don't want to run the character, but in chaos battle, I think there's viability, and yeah, he's going to be good. So yeah, I think number 4 for now for LR Glox. I think that makes the most sense. You know, we'll see again, guys. Like, I have to think off the top of my head here. I don't have all these set in stone, so I'm going to have to move around some of the characters here depending on where I kind of place them. Now, moving on to LR Zeldris here, guys. LR Zeldris gotta go in the number 3 spot, in my opinion, on this list, guys. And I think right there, I'm gonna not move any of the characters here from 3, 4, maybe Escanor and Ludo. We might have to bump down a little bit. Now that I'm thinking about it, we do have another character coming up. But yeah, LR Zeldris right here, very good character. He has basic stat build up for the team. He does very, very good damage. He has gauge reduction as well, which does in turn work with his, you know, his passive that he has, and, you know, increasing his critical chance, critical damage. He's a DPS character while supporting the team, which is exactly what you kind of want to see from a character. And yeah, I mean, he's really, really good across the board. I mean, he's good in pretty much all content that's PvE wise in the game. You know, a bunch of basic stats. I mean, it's up to what, 30% basic stats, which is nothing to scoff at, guys. I mean, you know, Valentine's Diane, if you guys know, I rate that character very, very highly. And I mean, Zeldris is able to do that with 5 gauge removals, either from his own gauge or from, you know, the enemy. So yeah, no, definitely very good in that, right? And in PvP, you know, you can run him in like chaos battle settings, you know, not going to be like a regular PvP character. Again, that's kind of with most LRs here, you know, not all of them are going to be really PvP viable. But yeah, no, I think yeah, I think 3 is a good spot to put LR Zeldris right there. And yeah, then we got Glox in number 4, so they're very close. I think if you value Ratatoskr more, then you could definitely argue Glox in number 3. But I think because Zeldris is more universal, and you can still run him on Rat too. Like, you know, Zeldris is actually a fairly decent DPS on Rat. So you do have that option, guys. So yeah, I will put him at the number 3 right there just for general purpose use. But if you're looking for only Rat use, then, you know, definitely LR Glox. But also, I mean, LR Liz firsthand as well, guys. So yeah, let's move on to the next character. Alrighty, guys, so we got LR Lilia here. Now, LR Lilia, in my opinion, guys, I don't think is really that good. I'll be honest, I think she's probably in the bottom half here. Yeah, I mean, I would think, do I say Lostvayne's better than her right now? Like, it's tough because, like, if there's good catastrophes in the game, then Lilia goes higher, right? And I think that's a given, right? She would be a lot higher. The thing that is her problem is that right now, is that she doesn't really have that many options, right? Like if you're running her on that team. Now you can obviously run her on a human team. She has damage cap still for herself, and yeah, I mean, you know, it's still very valuable, and I do see the value in her kit in the future more so than right now, right? Because obviously once we do get stronger catastrophes in the future, I mean, team-wide damage cap, guys, is very busted, and you know, eventually if we do get really strong catastrophe characters in the game, then Lilia could be very good. But right now, you know, we're not going to be thinking about future-proofing a character, guys. If a character right now is just not good, I'm going to tell you not to make the LR. And so LR Lilia right now is one of my kind of lower priority characters right there in terms of making LR. Moving on to LR Galland here, guys. Now, LR Galland, actually I'm going to put above Lostvayne and in the number 8 spot. Now, the reason why I say this is because Galland is actually a very good Demon King unit. He has attack-related stats which he can get, which is good. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all he has going for him. Like, you know, Demon King as a unit. Honestly, if that's the case, then maybe I put Lostvayne, because Lostvayne, yo, that... Honestly, I'm not too sure about this, guys. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Lostvayne or Galland? I think right now the thing is with Lostvayne is he has more flexibility in terms of content, but he's not as good in that content. Like, if we're talking Galland, like, he's really good on Floor 4 Bird, and he's also a viable option on Demon King, which I value pretty highly. So, you know what? I will give Galland the number 8. I think that is pretty good. And, yeah, honestly... Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could maybe argue, like, these two spots, too. You could. You really could. I think the general use case for Escanor is still more valuable. And then also the fact that LR Margaret is really good. I mean, Goss team is a staple team for just general PvE content. That I think for now, I'm going to put Galland in number 8. And I don't think Galland in PvP is doing really anything spectacular. In PvP, guys, he's just not really that great of a character. So, yeah, I'm going to have him at the number 8 spot right now. And, yeah, we'll move on to the next character. Now, moving on to LR King here, guys. We got him in the number 5 spot. Now, I think LR King, even though he is restricted to the Fairy Giant team, is not a bad thing for this character, because we actually have a brand new upcoming LR that is going to work really well with him. And we also have LR Gloxinia, which is another character that can work well with King as well. And if you guys have used King as like in the past at all, you know, obviously before he got that, like, you know, shadow nerf or anything like that, King was great. And I think even in some types of content in the game, he could still be valuable, you know. It's not that King has to have those characters on the team for all of his kit to work. He just needs them on the team so that they get the basic stat buff, right? So yeah, I think King overall is a really good unit. And across content in the game, I mean, the cleanse card's valuable, the petrify is good, and it does a lot of damage now too. You could probably argue maybe Escanor above him. You definitely could. I think it's a case by case you know, basis, guys. Like, if you value King more for like a, you know, a fairy giant team in PvE content, I mean, that's gonna be probably a high scoring like guild boss team too. You know, King overall, yeah, I mean, that could be nice. And even thinking about characters that are coming, we know Lancelot is gonna be the festival, guys, and Lancelot is a fairy technically, right? So fairy, you know, King obviously being here, you have Glox, then we get, you know, Lancelot in the future, and then Diane working with the King. I mean, yeah, for now, I actually am gonna leave him at number 5, because we do know Lancelot's coming, and that does give these fairy characters a little bit more value than you would think. And yeah, with the use cases that they have, I think, you know, it does make a lot of sense to slot King in the number 5 slot. Now, moving on to the final character, guys, we got LR Diane. Now, I'm going to put LR Diane in number 2 right now, but this is provisionary, like, you know, placement, right? I'm putting her in the number 2 spot right now because, you know, from what I've seen from her kit, she's doing a lot. You know, if you guys have seen my video this morning on, you know, what LR Diane's actually doing, make sure to check out that video. You know, I've done more in-depth explanation on that character in that video, and I think LR Diane is going to be an absolutely insane both PvP and PvE character. So if you want to argue Diane as number 1 LR, even above LR Liz, I could actually see the argument, and it really depends on how good Diane is in PvP for me to warrant her this high, because she is going to be really good CC. She has damage cap now. She gets attack related stats for your team, like just like the Valentine's Diane. She's giving damage dealt to your team when you stance up. You're getting accumulated damage buildup, and she has attack related stats in her kit as well. So it really is a tough place. I will still say LR Liz for the general player is going to be more of a valuable LR to prioritize, but LR Diane, guys, is a number 2. So once she does drop on global, I highly recommend recommend you guys make this LR. She's going to be very, very insane, very strong across the board in terms of content. And if we're talking about future releases that we know are coming, Lancelot, again, not necessarily that he's going to work alongside giants, but he does want a lot of fairies, and Diane is going to work with King, with Glox. You know, we've talked about this already with, you know, the whole King team, where King kind of needs fairies and giants. If they're going in that direction, then Queen Diane's going to be very strong even in the future too. So yeah, guys, that is where I would have all the LRs in Grand Cross right now, man. This is going to be my ranking right here. So LR Liz is going to be number 1. We got LR Diane at number 2. LR Zeldris at the number 3, LR Glox at number 4, we got LR King at the number 5, LR Escanor at the number 6, LR Margaret at number 7, LR Galland at number 8, LR Lostvayne at number 9, and then LR Lilia at number 10. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below of my rankings. Would you guys change up the rankings at all in terms of where you guys would place them? Again, you know, a lot of this is kind of tough now that we have 10 LRs. You know, it is a little bit more thinking that we have to do about what content characters are good on and how we can actually take advantage of them. And so this is what the list would be, in my opinion, right now for Howard LR characters. And honestly, guys, even from like, you know, 5 down, like all these characters for LR right here honestly don't really need their LRs as badly as, you know, like the top 4. I think the top 4 are more of a priority than anything past from like King downwards. Mainly these 4 I would say are your main priority, and then you can work on these other characters as well. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video, and with that out of the way, man, that's gonna be it, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.